Hi, my name is Alexey, and in this video I will show you how to create a landscape with grass. It's partly true, but the key feature I want to highlight is how to create a randomness and bring more life to your distribution by using arrest matrix and very few objects and models that you scatter across the surface. So first of all, let's open the matrix, and I have this scattering, just scale multiply by 2 and simple landscape. In matrix I drop landscape and I prepared some models for the test, and they are from Asset Browser. So we're going to tag and dropping, for example, the first one, the grass, and immediately we see the result. And it's already beautiful because in Asset Browser we have a very good models with details, not all of them, but this one looks good. And let's save it, but we have some problems. All elements are oriented to one direction, and we need to solve this as essential problem, because now our eye pick up the patterns, the same regular repeated element here. We need to bring some life, and by life I'm talking about randomness. Let's start from randomness. We have this tool, beautiful random effector, and instead of tweaking the position, we go into rotation and immediately we need to rotate them. Let's find the angle. So this is not what we need. Maybe this one. No, it's vertical, but horizontal. 360. So in between of minus 360 and plus 360, random will try to rotate every element. It's ready, and the next step is bringing maybe a little bit randomness in scale. But before, we need to check what we get with only one single manipulation. You see, the grass is looking to different sides and it looks more organic immediately, so without any manipulation. Let's add maybe 5 degrees in other angles, not to see the roots, not to have huge turn or angle of rotation for other direction, and maybe a little bit in scale, uniform scale, just a bit, 0.3. Let's update our IPR and compare with the basic setup we had. Let's compare. The first one, very regular distribution and regular position of everything, and much more fun. Especially on the top, we see the same sticking part of grass. And here, random, more organic look. The second step is to add far more models. For example, 2 or 3 should be okay. It's better than single one, so I'm dropping them here. And I have one flower. It's a bit huge, but I will keep it. And you see that immediately we have a different, some relaxed zones, some dense zones, and it's not even pattern how it was. So the same approach, the more difference we bring into position, scale, rotation, and in distributed models, the more organic look we'll get. Let's scale multiplier set to 1, because I think that this flower is too much. We have some angles different, and let's increase the quality of our elements. Let me try maybe to disable the rotation, because here I see that we already see the roots. Maybe 5 was too much, or maybe this anchor point is not work properly. So be careful about this and check on your models. With this grass it doesn't work, but with your model this should work. Yeah, they sitting properly, maybe 1 or 2 degrees in any direction. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And going to matrix, increasing quantity, and now we get a really dense and realistic landscape. For me it's quite good, and I will add a shader field, or maybe not shader field but shader effector with scale -1, and loading a bit of noise to control the density where we have empty zones and where we'll get a lot of grass. So you see, the more scale you have in global scale, the less it's noticeable. The difference between elements, the difference between white and black zone, especially with high contrast. Decreasing. And it's up to you. You can use a small amount, but at certain value you will get your pattern appearance back. That's not what we try to achieve. We try to avoid this feeling of pattern thing. So why increase the value maybe to this one and uploading IPR. I think this should be a good start with only a few manipulation like randomness in rotation. We can add randomness in position. It depends on what objects you're scattering. So I'm showing you an example based on landscape, but it's the same approach to any distribution you will trying to create. Maybe less contrast. So it doesn't matter if it would be mechanical things or these organic things. The more randomness you have, the more interesting it will look. Also, I'm not playing with color, but we can change these two, brighter elements, darker elements, and all that thing. Let's recap. Randomness in angle, randomness in scale, a bit randomness in model that you are trying to distribute, and a little bit touch of scaling. Also, you can play with materials to bring more life to your scene. Let's compare the thing we start from and this result we get. The first one, the end result. To be fair, let's disable all our manipulation and render this thing with small grass, just to see the difference. Shade effector, randomness, and removing everything except this log3 model here. Remove, remove, and update. Let's check. The final result, the base result. The final result, the base. And of course we have here these two elements, but don't put additional attention to it. You see that the direction and the orientation create this pattern that I clearly see known pattern and more organic look. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day. I am joking, of course, because we didn't cover one more thing. So yeah, we have 3 different objects here, but the distribution is set to sequential. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and in this particular case, particular scene, we don't see the repetitiveness. But if you would say it would be a bigger elements, you will see that, for example, triangle, sphere, cube, triangle, sphere, cube. To avoid this, we need to go to distribution and set the random. And then it tries to create a random order. So for example, sphere, triangle, cube, sphere, sphere, cube, sphere, cube, cube, triangle, triangle, cube. And that brings even more randomness and organic to your render. So randomness in angle and a little bit of scale, overall scale control to create less density and more density, and of course the distribution set to random. I hope this tutorial clarifies how to create a more organic and not pattern distribution for all your future projects. Now have a nice day, see ya, bye!